Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to do what I'm going to call a healthy back. And I'm just going to go through some stretches that we really need to be kind of looking at and doing to make sure that we keep the mobility that we're needing to have that healthy back. And so I do have a few tools that I'd like you to use. So now, I have this nice good roller. If you have that, a lot of you do, some of you don't, that's okay. I'm going to use this and show you how you can use this. You can also do a lot of what I'm going to show you with just a towel, like a hand towel size, that type of a look. So I want you to grab one of those, something that you have like that. We're going to use that to do a little bit of rolling and showing you how to have a healthy back. So are you ready to roll? Let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we're going to get that healthy back moving. So we're going to first start just on our back, and we're just going to grab both of our knees into our chest and just going to rock that in and hold that. Okay, and then we're going to rock back and forth, just giving a nice, good, gentle rock. Breathing out while we do it. A lot of these are exercises I give my patients. They're just important exercises to keep our back mobility and healthy. Now we're going to let the left side come down. As you're holding that right side still close to that chest, drop that left side. And when you do that, you're going to feel a little bit of a tension in the front part of your hip. That hip flexor is going to stretch out just a little bit. Okay, and you're just going to let that hang there. And then just kind of move that other hip around, just getting some mobility and some input in there. Keep breathing, nice big deep breaths. One more deep breath. Okay, and we're gonna go back to having both of those right into our chest, and we're just gonna rock right here, a little bit back and forth. Really stretching out that low back, also stretching and getting those hips moving. And this time, we're gonna drop that right side down, keeping that left side real close to your chest. And you're gonna feel that right side now, hip flexor kind of stretching out and extending. It gets real tight from a lot of our sitting positions. Nice work. Just kind of digging right in there. And then again, both knees to the chest, squeeze, and then bring them right down here, and we're just going to rock our knees back and forth. Okay? Now, you should never have pain with these. You can feel like, oh, I can feel it moving. But if you have pain, then you shorten the range. You don't stop the activity, you just shorten the range, even if it's really small. You just shorten that range to where you feel good. Okay, and I'm going to drop those knees to each side. I'm letting that nice good stretch happening. And then give it a nice good little pause as you stretch to each side. Oh yeah. One more on each side. Let that pause down. And then come to the other side and let it pause down. Nice work. Okay, so you're going to bring that other knee to the chest. Drop that leg down, and we're going to rotate it around. We're going to do a little bit of a spinal twist. So we're going to push that knee over to the side, and we're going to look the opposite direction. And we're going to have a nice, good, deep breath. A nice, good, comfortable stretch. Nice, good little spinal twist. One more deep breath, and exhale. You're going to feel that stretch out a little bit more as you give that nice, good exhale. And then bring that back in. Bring both knees up. And drop the other side. So I've dropped my left side. And then I'm moving my right knee right over my left side. And then I'm going to look to my right. Get that nice, good spinal twist. Oh, yeah, that feels good. Deep breath, just really exhaling there. One more. And then come back to the center. Bring both knees up. And we're going to rotate to the side. We're going to have both arms right out in front of us. And what we're going to do is we're going to rotate this arm all the way over and touch. So I'm going to keep my body here, and I'm going to rotate just from my upper trunk. So we're going to get that thoracic spine moving a little bit up and back around. Okay, so you're just moving that shoulder all the way around, touch the side, and back up. Nice, slow and controlled. Getting that thoracic spine moving. And we're breathing throughout. Okay, we want nice, good breathing. It deepens the stretch, gets the oxygen flowing to those muscles, which is important. I'm going to do these 2 more times. Hang there on that last little stretch. Last one. Here, open up, give it a nice little hang, and then come back around. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're going to switch to the other side now. I'm going to switch all the way. You can just roll to the other side, but I want to be looking at you still. Okay, so my knees are still bent, my arms out in front, and we're rotating that around. And coming back. Okay, when I say we're doing a healthy back, I am working on my whole back. I'm not just looking at my low back, right? We got that upper thoracic spine that really gets tight, that opposite side of your chest, right? So that can get tight because we look forward and we get crunched over on a computer or sitting on the couch watching TV, and we need to make sure we're getting mobility up there, because if that doesn't move right, your neck and your low back won't move right. So we need to make sure we're really thinking through all of it. Okay, 2 more. Let that kind of hang. And then come back. And 1 more time. Open up and let that hang. And come back up. Okay, so this is where we're going to start using either a towel, or you can use a roller if you have that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to just get some extension. So if you're using the towel, you're going to make it into a towel roll. You're going to roll that up and you're going to stick it right in the middle of your back. Okay, so you're going to lay down and you're going to put it right in the center between your shoulder blades, coming across perpendicular. And we're going to just do some arm movements where we're coming up and back down, getting a little bit of mobility and an extension in there. Now, if you want to, you can add this. This is a little more exaggerated, okay? And we're rolling back. So we're getting some extension going in that thoracic spine, and we're coming right behind it, and we're extending out. Okay, so if you're using the roller, you got arms behind your head, and you're doing some extension, and you're rolling into different spots in that extension. Make sure there's not pain with that, but that you're getting a nice, good extension through. Now, if you're using the towel roll, okay, if we're back there, you've got one segment at a time. So you're going to you can use both arms. If that's too much of a stretch, just use one arm at a time, coming up and back down. And we're just really getting segmental mobility. So each spine segment, we're going to extend and get a little bit more. So you're going to feel some that are going to be more tight than others. And then you're going to move that just a little bit, like an inch down, and you're going to move it, and you're going to try that, and you say, oh, that's not too bad. That's not quite as much of a stretch. So you're going to move it back up and to another section, and you're going to find there's going to be certain places that are tighter than others. You stick on the side that's a little bit tighter, and you kind of move through that. Really opening up that extension. We get so flexed and so tight in our chest, and then we do not get enough extension moving into that thoracic spine, and then it starts really affecting our low back and our neck. So I really like to kind of sit here and keep moving that towel up and down until you find some spots that are really tight that you need to do a little bit more work on. And I want you to make sure you're still breathing. Nice big deep breaths when you're doing this. Two more. Oh, yeah. Nice work. Okay, take that towel roll out for a second. Okay, and this time we're going to open up our chest. And then bring it in. So we're going to have our arms 90 degrees, and we're going to reach out our chest and open up and get those arms nice and flat against the mat. And kind of opening up that chest. Now with our 90 degrees, we're going to feel like goalposts. We're going to flip our shoulders down and put our palms down flat, and then we're going to put our palms up. So we're going to just move back and forth, moving that shoulder, the shoulder blades moving, getting some rotation in there. Now, some of you will not have a lot of range of motion on this. That is you understanding where you're at on your limitation. So if you're finding certain ones, you're like, whoa, that was really hard. That means you need to come back and you may need to add those into some of your workout routines to make sure you're getting some proper mobility. 2 more. Okay, so this time what we're going to do is you're going to either take your towel roll and you're going to put it right in the middle of your spine. This time it's going to go down the long side. Or if you've got a roll, you're going to sit right on that. Okay, this is just going to be more exaggerated. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do similar activities. We're going to come up and we're going to let that hang right here. Now, the towel roll isn't going to be as exaggerated. You can even use like a large towel if you don't have a roll. And it's right down the center of that spine, and you're just opening up and letting those shoulders fall back. And what we're doing is we're opening up that chest. We're getting an extension in that thoracic spine, but we're also opening up and really working those pectoral muscles and stretching those out. Like I said, they get really tight from sitting at a computer, sitting on your couch, driving, all of those activities that we have a lot of forward motion in. So letting that hang, and deep breaths. Okay, so this time we're going to come up. We're going to move our arms just up a little bit higher. So now we're up higher. We're not going directly across. We're up just a little bit higher. And this time we're going to hit that pectoral minor. So we've got major and minor chest muscles there, okay? We've got different ones. And this one is a little bit more, this attaches up to that shoulder. So we want to make sure we're really stretching this out. This can get really tight and create shoulder problems in us, neck problems. So stretching that. So I've got my shoulders up just a little higher, and I'm still leaning back, and just nice, good stretch. So sometimes you'll feel like after doing this, you're like, wow, my neck moves so much better. When we get tight in that thoracic spine, our neck gets really stiff and tight. So we need to make sure we're stretching these out and really getting some mobility in there. Okay, one more deep breath. And then come on up. Oh, yeah. Oh, that feels good, right? Nice, good movement. Okay, so what we're also going to do is we want to work a little bit on our hip mobility to make sure our low back is working. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a nice, good little butterfly right here, and we're going to hold ourselves. So we're going to pull that body in. We're going to have a nice, tall chest. Grab those ankles, and you're going to pull it right towards you and have a nice, good hip mobility. So we want that hip moving, because that also helps with our low back, just like when we're working the thoracic spine or we're opening up that chest. Okay, that all works together. Okay, so now that we're here, we're going to take and we're going to walk back and look over our left shoulder and get a little bit of rotation in there. So I'm walking my left hand back and taking my right hand and moving it onto my left shoulder and giving myself a twist as I look over. Woo, yeah. Nice, good rotation right there. Now I want a big exhale, really exhale and push into that stretch. One more time. And then come back to the center. Pull that in. And then walk it over to the other side. So this time I'm looking over my right side. Okay, and I've got my left hand on my right knee, and as I'm looking over, and for me, I'm realizing this side's a little tighter. So you may find that one side's a little tighter. That's okay. That is natural. We do not tend to be even Steven. Again, I want big deep breaths out, really push into that like rotation. And then release and come back to the center. Pull that forward. And this time we're just going to drop that side. We're going to try to put that ear to that right shoulder. Right ear to the right shoulder as we're pulling in. And then we're going to look up over our left shoulder just a little bit. Get a little bit of rotation in there. Ooh, yeah. And then come on up to neutral. And this time we're going to do our left ear to our left shoulder. And then we're going to look up over our right. Get a twist. And then come back to neutral. Oh, that felt good, right? Okay, so this time, what we're going to do is we're going to have our leg out straight. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our arm right onto the outside of our right leg. Okay? And we're going to come down and we're going to take this left arm and we're going to come right over top and reach and stretch. So getting a little bit, so I'm going down onto my right forearm and I'm leaning over kind of towards my right knee and my thigh. Leaning over and getting that lateral side as I start to stretch also that hamstring. And now I'm going to rotate forward and I'm going to grab the outside of my right foot with my left arm. And you're going to feel that right in that low back right there. And you're going to feel it in that hamstring. And holding that position. Nice deep breaths. One more deep breath. And then all the way up, back around. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this time, I'm going to come in and I'm going to be in my inside. Same thing with my elbow. My forearm's going to come down. I'm going to lift up and reach on over. Again, I'm going to get that whole lateral stretching out. Nice deep breath. And then I'm going to reach again this time. It's going to feel a little bit different because we're going to be a little bit inside. I'm going to reach to that outside of that foot. On that right foot with that left hand, we're going to pull towards your foot. Okay, grab that foot and pull. You're going to feel it in that low back and you're going to feel it in that hamstring, keeping that knee straight. Nice and controlled, big deep breaths. Now, not everyone's going to have the same range of motion, so you may have to be way up here on your foot. That's okay. Again, you're grabbing that foot and you're pulling towards it. You're pulling your body towards it. So you're going to feel that right in that low back. You're going to feel it in that hamstring. And then up and release. Oh, yeah. So now we're going to do the other side. Okay, so flip that foot in. Okay, we're going to come down again on that elbow, on that forearm on the outside. We're going to lift on up and reach on over. And again, we're getting those lateral and those obliques. Oh, that feels good. And then we're going to reach towards that outside of that left foot with that right hand. And we're going to grab it and pull. And we're going to feel that in that low back. And we're going to feel it in the hamstring. Okay, we're also opening up this side of our hip. So we're getting that hip mobility in that too. Big deep breath. And then come back up. Oh, that feels so good. Okay, so we're going to come down again on this forearm on the inside. We're going to reach up again, and we're going to lift up over. We're going to feel that lateral stretch. Woo. Again, you're going to feel one side is tighter than the other. That is natural. That's okay. And we're going to reach over. We're going to grab that nicely and pull that towards us. Big deep breaths. Get that all stretched out. Three, 2, 1, and release. Oh, yeah. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to take that hip and we're going to walk it in. And And we're just going to give a nice good stretch right into that lateral hip and open that up. And then we're going to rock it to the side. So I've got my left leg crossed over my right, and I'm going to drop my right knee down to the other side as I stretch out that side. I'm really feeling that stretch on my left hip. Really a nice good pull and opening it up. And then bring it back in. Drop that down, and then the other side. So walk that up, hold that position there, feeling it stretch, and then we're going to rock that left leg down as we open up that right side. Oh, yeah. Keep breathing out as you stretch that out, really opening that hip up a little bit. Hold on, nice deep breath. And then walk that back up and relax. Okay, so those are just a few ways to kind of open up that chest, open up and get that rotation in that thoracic spine, and opening up some of those hip muscles to have a nice healthy back. It's not every exercise, it's just a nice way of really saying, look at these, make sure your mobility is working on that so that you have a nice healthy back. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel below, and have a great day.